Hi, I'm Karthic Rathinam. I'm from DSK International. I'm studying first year. I'm 17 years old and I'm from Chennai. And I have interest in creating new things. My first initial design was to make something which can involve magic and which can involve modularity in it. A cube which lights up whenever you connect another cube with it without any wires. So fluid blocks got inspiration from bricks, like building sites around my home. Like all the buildings were developing, I had to look upon bricks a lot and all the settings of how they arrange it together. All the magnets are placed outside on all 6 sides of the cube so that when you get one more cube and attach to it, it works. It was a massive competition around India and it was pretty huge for me at that time because I was still finishing school and I'm just going inside the design world and I get a call from the biggest design company. So I had a Skype call with my mentor Alex. It was a great opportunity. The thing was, it was a modular block. So it is actually a table element. You can like have if you want a light, you can have a light. If you want a fan, you can attach a fan. If you want a speaker, then you can attach a speaker.
Okay.
It depends on what you think. If magnets had this problem of repulsion, so yeah, I thought of one more thing. It is a socket kind.
Some kind of physical interface, male-female type
Male-female type. If you take a block, a single block, only the base will have south. It'll be like a Lego block kind, where the base has a different thing except all the other sides. So yeah, if you have north around all of the sides, and if you have south, you can attach it.
I like it. The other question that I had was that you started to get to on the phone was wiring in parallel versus series.
Yeah, I had a doubt because if you're connecting in series, then the first light will be brightest, and the last will be dimmer.
Or in an LED, it won't even work. You need some forward voltage to be on.
So if it's in parallel, it'll be like same brightness.
He's a very geeky designer. I like him.
I was expecting a formal interview, like a one-to-one interview and discuss how we're going to take this forward. It was that, but it was in a fun way.
It's interesting to give someone so fresh an opportunity in a platform like this to kind of express their ideas. You know, it's I think it'll be really good for him and good for us to kind of brainstorm and think about these kind of problems and move things forward. So I was really impressed with how flexible he was in terms of a really well-rounded skill set. I'd love to see more entrants like him. He had a really good understanding of electronics and you know, even programming to kind of implement his vision and make it kind of true to what his intent was. So I really enjoyed talking to him. It was great. I've encouraged him just to start someplace, right? And I'll feel more comfortable kind of guiding him along as an editor, trying to make suggestions based on what he's trying to do, as opposed to arbitrarily dictating we're doing this in carbon fiber. And then, you know, I and other mentors at Godrej can kind of look at how can he leverage some of our knowledge to achieve what he's trying to do. And that'll be really great.
So Alex helped me out with how the magnets can be attached together and how the circuiting can be improved and how the form, like basic form of the shape, he gave me a new perspective and new idea on how it can be developed. So I had a couple of talks in the last meeting with Alex and we were discussing about like how AC can be harmful and dangerous. So we were thinking like what other solution can we go upon until I find a DC source of light which is pretty bright and which could be incorporated in my product. So a light, so now the next best possible solution is to use something which can trigger the current passing through. So I'm using a capacitive switch sensor. It works for now, it works in DC. I tested it with a 9-volt battery. Now I should try it out with AC current and try out how it comes upon. If it works, then yeah, I think I'll go on with this design. So we had this lecture in college, the final slide which said that be outside, think inside. So this actually made me think inside that I could use these magnets instead of keeping them outside, I could keep them inside. Magnets attract the same way, even if they're outside or inside, the same principle. when I did this simple cube-like structure, I 3D printed it. It opened up a lot of possibilities of what I can do. I can do some other different structure which looked even more elegant and even more beautiful to look at and gave a natural more feel. So I got this structure called as truncated hexagonal structure. It is 7 hexagons and 6 squares joined together to make this structure. In this you can get up to 7 different kinds of possibilities for connecting. 3D printed up a contact cavity through which I can fit my contact points easily. I got a 10 mm magnet and my hole was 15 mm. So I had to fill in 2.5 mm radius. So if it is not filled up, the magnets will rattle and shake, and whenever you rotate it, the magnets might pop out. So there was this elastic string which was lying around. So I got that string, a small string which I had small part. So I tried putting it around and it worked perfectly. It was perfectly 2.5 mm in dia. One of the problem was that my hole is 1.25 mm in diameter, so I had to like laser cut them. So I went and searched for nice washers, and then I got a brass washer. The existing hole size is a bit small than my washer, so I needed to put a new hole, and since anyway I'm going to add a layer of mica sheet on top, I need to drill a hole again. I'm using a small thumbtack because anything else would create a bigger hole. So these act as the contact points for my product. So when you take 2 contact points like this one, joins with another contact point, and then the current passes through them. So I just completed my model. It looks pretty good and it works pretty good. The only thing left is to get the adapter and put it in my base. It's a 12-volt adapter, so the base is practically a hexagon, same hexagon toppled over and kept. I just need to like assemble that, and then my model works pretty good, and I'm pretty optimistic on February exhibition. So now we are in the ambient still shoot of my product. We are in my set with my product over here. So today morning when I came over here, I saw the building. It was very black. I was like, what can be inside? So I went inside. It was amazing. I saw like all these amazing sets put up together. And the first thing I did, I went up to a GDL team member and asked her, whose set is this? She was like, it is your set. I was like, is this whole set made up for me? The whole thing? And she said yes. And that was a great thing because my product is now complete, and this set amplifies the experience of the product. As designers, we face an issue like we can't waste resources a lot because we don't have the money to do so. Working through Godrej, I had an opportunity to learn about many new electrical stuff, technical knowledge, and Godrej has taught me a lot of how a professional world looks like and what as a young designer, as a new designer, I need to look upon, to learn upon. So finally we're here, and my product is here. This time, last month, I didn't think it was going to work out completely because it was not completely aligning, and now I fixed a little bit mistakes, and now it's like working now, and people are using it. It feels great.
There were times in the process I was very hard on him, but I think, you know, like any good design student, he understood that it wasn't personal. And anytime that we challenged him to kind of take things up another level, he did that.
It's lovely talking with Karthic and his lighting blocks. He's the youngest contestant here, right? So we've got a lot of people who've got a bunch of experience working in the real world and making these things happen. I love the youthful enthusiasm that he brought to this. I mean, even now when I spoke to him this morning, he was just smiling the whole time because he's super happy to see this thing come to life. And it's very cool. It works. It's a light. It's not a very complicated idea. He's not trying to solve the biggest problems in the world, which is actually great. and he's done it.
So when people came to me, they went to the other designs, threw around and then came to me. So they were like, are you an architect? What firm do you want? And what do you do? How old are you? Everything. And I told I'm a first year student. I'm 17 years old. And they were like, what?
Especially mentioned Karthic, because the technology and the module which he has used, I would want to create a sculpture out of it because my projects are generally large scale.
So there was a 17-year-old who caught my eye. I think fantastic. I already am signing him up for the Global Shapers community. I already asked like, dude, you have great potential, just come on board.
Karthic's design was quite inspiring. He's combined science with design, right? So it's very inspiring.
So the GDL journey was a great experience. I learned a lot. So over here, I didn't feel short like I'm just 17 years old and I can't do this. Being with a great mentor like Alex, and he helped me out with like everything from the starting stage till the ending. And now my product is here along with all these other products, and I'm pretty proud to be here.